The gentleman we're talking about today, Luther Foster, came here in the 1860s to go to work for James Ludington.
Ludington, Michigan, 1876. A small but proud logging community on the shores of Lake Michigan.
James Ludington owned all the land around here, or most of it, and started his lumber business here. He lived his whole life, his adult life, in a couple hotels in Milwaukee. And so he hired a superintendent, and that superintendent was Luther Foster, who lived here in Ludington and worked on his behalf.
And Luther's job was essentially to oversee
Mr.
Ludington's operations.
That's correct.
And Foster quickly made a name for himself in the community.
Well, he was involved in a couple churches. One of them was the Congregational Church, which still exists in Ludington. It's now called the Community Church. He was very active in the temperance movement. He was a musician, an actor, very involved in the community. His wife was the belle of the local society.
But that life of notoriety would be shattered one night in late June of 1876.
They were awakened by some noise in their house, and they discovered an intruder or intruders. I'm not quite sure of exactly how many people were involved, but they were burglarizing the home. The story that has come down through the years is that Luther Foster chased that person and/or those people out of his home, up the street, and got into a confrontation with one of them.
So that's where the robber or robbers would have gone in.
Correct.
And he chased them to the north up this street.
The descriptions we have of that exist, the encounter with the burglars happened up on that corner. And that's where he was shot.
And that's where his wife ran up and found him, according to the accounts.
He did live a while, but not too long, and he passed away. And the murder that night shocked the community.
But just who broke into the Foster's home and why quickly turned into a mystery.
The conspiracy theorists were running rampant in 1876.
Oh, without a doubt. And the conspiracy theory back in 1876 was that there was a black book that was in Foster's home that contained, I guess basically you'd call it company secrets, perhaps some nefarious doings and so forth, and that was what was being stolen, and that's why Luther Foster chased this burglar out of his home. I don't know if any of that's true. I don't know if anybody knows that it's true, but it made a great story, and it has for a century and a half.
Despite Foster meeting an untimely end, his impact would continue to be felt in the Ludington area, with nods to his contributions. Today, you'll find Foster Street, home for years to Foster Elementary. And just as Foster's legacy has endured, so has the mystery of who killed him.
People still talk about this, however many 100 plus, 200 plus years later, about what happened here. I mean, is this a murder that's ever going to be solved, or is that secret long in the grave?
I suspect it will never be solved.